Good afternoon. Today I'll be talking to you about the 5 reasons why it makes great sense to look for import substitutes and to look for indigenizing your imports. My name is Shyam Balsekar. I'm the founder of a company called SA Pharma Plastic. We are manufacturers of pharmaceutical plasticware and also indigenize plastic imports, imported plastic items. To illustrate my lecture today, I will be talking to you about one of our customers who had come to us for an import substitute of a pharmaceutical product. They were importing this from the US and they were paying a very large price for it, and they were looking at a much cheaper solution. So we were able to develop this item for them within a very short span of time without infringing on the patent rights of the original manufacturer. And we were able to give them the sample and thereafter the actual product itself. To illustrate the advantages that they did from going through this exercise, the first one was cost reduction. The import price was almost 2,000 rupees and we were able to supply them at around 500 rupees. So they got a reduction in the price by almost 75%, which is very, very significant. I'm not saying that this would be the case in every import substitute, but you would almost certainly get a price reduction. The next advantage that they got was in terms of the inventory. When you import something, you generally need to do it in very large quantities because it usually comes in a container. So you have to get it by the container, which means you're importing almost maybe 5 to 10,000 pieces of this item. Now, when you convert 2,000 rupees into 5,000, that comes to a very large amount. So not only were they blocking up their money and capital in this import, but they were also blocking up their space in their storehouse and godowns. So by converting to local suppliers, what they were able to do is that they were able to buy the material as and when they actually needed it. So they were not blocking up their money and they were not blocking up their space, which turned out to be a huge advantage for them. Another aspect that they found a huge benefit from was the constant price. What happens when you're importing material from abroad is that the rate of foreign exchange keeps changing. The dollar keeps rising, sometimes quite significantly. So when they were quoting for government tenders which had a large gestation period, they were not able to very accurately decide the price at which they would be importing. Whereas if you're buying from a local supplier, you're able to freeze and finalize the price at that particular level. In addition, you also get credit from your local suppliers, which quite often you do not get from your importers, from your suppliers abroad. Another aspect was the fact that the import procedure itself is extremely tedious when one looks at it. The payment term involves opening LCs with your bank, which is a very, very time-consuming process. The transportation itself is a tedious process. You have to appoint a freight forwarder, you have to wait a month or two for the material to come to the docks. Then you have to go through the import procedures, which is again extremely tedious. So they were able to avoid this entire series of operations and buy locally. And the last but not the least, as patriotic Indians, we would all like to contribute to the growth story of our great nation. By finding import substitutes, you're contributing to the Make in India program of the government, and you're saving valuable foreign exchange, and you're increasing the GDP of our country. So what could be better than getting all these advantages with the added benefit of contributing to your nation's growth? That's all from me today. Till our next video. Goodbye.